I'm Adria, and I'm going to do a rundown of all the presenters from Ignite Minneapolis. So April 22nd, we had Ignite Minneapolis, which is a series of speed presentations. You get 5 minutes and 20 slides to share an idea, and it's up to you to pick whatever you want. So William did The Art of Living Dangerously, and he talked about all of these people who, I think almost all of them are guys actually, who basically blew up parts like their fingers or thumbs or whatever, and then went on to make really cool stuff, like discover DNA and all those awesome things. And he is involved with Make Zines, so very good energy there. Raj talked about peer-to-peer financing, and I learned that middlemen are pretty much useless in terms of helping me build wealth when it comes to all of their charges. Mitchell talked about growing up social and how he can't drink yet because he's not 21. He was born in 1988, and how he joined Facebook, and he can't imagine why people would not check their email all day. So it was interesting hearing his perspective. And Michael talked about when good people pick bad fonts, and this was really fun because, of course, he talked about Comic Sans. And not only did he show all these places Comic Sans are used, yes, even on tombstones, but he superimposed Comic Sans in some fairly funny places. I found it very entertaining, and hopefully people will not use Comic Sans. He said that librarians and teachers are often guilty of using Comic Sans. Then Whitney did What Can Cocktail Parties Teach Us About Twitter? And the thing I got from that is listen. So I've learned from Twitter that I don't always have to be out there putting out stuff. If I now understand in a social setting, I can kind of go around and listen for keywords or phrases, and I can kind of gravitate over there. And I feel that I've learned from Twitter how I can now contribute to a real conversation. Before it felt pretty uncomfortable. Eli talked about a report from the woods, and so he gave us an update on how forestry is doing in Minnesota, and he said 35% of woods are owned by personal folks, not businesses and not the government. Interesting. Then it was me, and I did shiny phone gadgets. So I talked about what you need to know when you're picking an iPhone, a BlackBerry, Google Android, Windows mobile device, what you can choose for your characters, unlocking, and I didn't cover jailbreaking, but anyways, stuff like that. The two things I will do next time I present in front of a group of folks is make more eye contact and not look up at my slides. They looked so cool on the wall, and then there was like my hair shadow. I was mesmerized. So I'm going to work to interact with the audience more. Yep. I'll let you guys know what I'm thinking. Kim did How to Write a Novel in 30 Days. I love this. This was awesome. I felt that I could even write something. One thing that stuck was she talked about the mark of the beast, which is the number of words you should write every day to get to this number for this novel, which is 1,666. So if you broke it down in 30 days for this, Winmo novel November thing, anyway, it was really a fun presentation. Kevin, launching a new website product or web-based product. I wasn't there for that one. Jeremy talked about HD home theater on the cheap. This presentation was amazing. Not only was he informational, but he was specific. He talked about both hardware products and software products, and there were great photos of setting up, his home theater, and they had all these great photos. And so I felt like I had enough information to go out and get everything I needed to set up a home theater. If I would do that, which I wouldn't, but if I did, I know Jeremy is the guy. Tom did Don't Fight the Comments. I missed this. I would like to see it because I'm assuming it had to do with blogging comments. Meg Canada, Everything You Want to Know About Being a Teenager, Lessons from Young Adult Literature. I thought this was really good because it talked about books that are out there for young folks. Meg mentioned, if you are young and you are struggling with weight, there's a book out there that, you could read. There was one about being gay. And so the point is that these books can help young folks go through and process these thoughts, these feelings, whatever is going on in their lives, that maybe they can't talk to their family about or their friends about. So it's good stuff. Elizabeth talked about, are we on the brink of a robot revolution? I didn't catch all of this, but the parts that I heard sounded good, and I like robots. And she sounded really enthusiastic. Michael, it's a to be determined. I didn't catch what he presented. Taylor, how new media works. I guess I did see that one. And he talked about conversations and how the control of the media is not in the hands of these corporations as much. So it was interesting. A lot of the same messages, folks are saying online about who's in control of our news and our information now, and how we're getting more information from each other rather than from these corporate companies. Ward talked about claiming your Yammer network, what your organization needs to know. Basically, it sounds like Yammer is like a company-based Twitter, and so you can send out messages, internally. So and it looks like he worked for Medtronic. Jack did on Learning 101, and that was really interesting about basically all these things you've learned in your life for coping, surviving, whatever, they could be holding you back from your true future potential success. And by understanding that and starting to practice unlearning things, you will actually grow. Paul talked about fixating on copyrights, and it was really interesting because he talked about and explained what the default copyright status quo is. Like in the case, if you put something on Twitter, is that copywritten? Yes, it is. You don't have to put copyright 2009. Like stuff you create, if it's unique and it's in a static format or something that can be referenced, then it's copywritten or whatever. So that was cool. Joe Sif wrote about an interaction explosion, or he talked about interaction explosion with introduction angst. This was interesting. I know a bit abstract, I'll say that, but it was interesting. Jennifer talked about inspiration of a remix culture. Love this one. Not only did she present it in a passionate type spoken word poetry voice, but I agree. I mean, nearly all my photos that I put up on Flickr, I make Creative Commons with a remix license. The only ones I don't are ones of myself, because I don't want someone to put horns on my head. But yeah, I think it's really important that there is media out there that can be modified, adapted, interpreted, and turned into something else. So it's very good. It was really great. Then Pete Berry did Orange WTF. I thought he had some great points about how children are traumatized by the color orange early on with things like pumpkins, so yeah. Fritz talked about Mad Libs as a predictive tool. This guy was like taking a Jerry Seinfeld show, all the characters on there, and wrapping it into one person. It was really interesting, the stuff he talked about. It was really funny. Hi, Bluey. This is my dog, Bluey, right here. And then Jennifer Kane did Douchebag Zen, how to work with them since you can't kill them. This was great. She really captured the audience, and she talked about douchebags that cause irritation. That you either got to stop using the douche, take out the douche, or you gotta move on. And so that was a really great metaphor. So with that, would I attend another Ignite Minneapolis? I would. Would I present again? I would. And yeah, I thought it was great, and thanks Patrick for organizing it, and you and Kelly did a great job. Thanks.